Step into the eerie depths of Strange Darkness Radio, where Rothy unveils the arcane tapestry of numerology. Tonight, the uncharted path beckons as she pierces the unseen veil surrounding Bobby Washington, a soul untouched by the cryptic digits. What secrets lie dormant, waiting to be unearthed? The numbers, silent witnesses to the dance of fate, shall reveal truths forged in the ethereal tapestry of time and space. Let's begin.
So yeah, those are your charts, my loves. Are we doing Bobby's real quick?
No. I mean, you can do a little bit of it, I guess, but yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
We
Because
could do another episode and she could do you, Bobby, because I feel like yours with the I don't want to give any spoilers, but with that 33 when she was explaining it last time, it was actually really interesting, and I feel like that could be a whole segment.
well, I'm up for whatever, especially after Amy's was just so detailed, and it's like so again, and thank you guys both, for even doing this, because
For sure.
our guests are the people out there that are listening to your these stories. They may think they're stories. They may think, what is Rothy talking about? Is this factual? Is it not? Is it hooey stuff and all that, right? But as you guys take this in and listen to what she's saying, you're like, I feel this. This is, she's really speaking to me, and so people are hearing, your personal things right now. And so it's not, easy for, people to hear, personal things like that, to divulge them to, our listeners, to the public.
Yeah.
So, I thank you guys for even doing this.
It's great, for sure.
But yeah.
I
Well,
feel like
thank
it's
you.
oh,
Oh.
sorry. Well, yeah, thank you, Rothy.
Yeah, no, that was amazing. So thank
Yeah.
you so much for taking the time to do this for us. And I loved it. Yeah, I loved it.
Good.
Because at the end of the day, it's so funny. Out of Carolyn's, was smooth. Once Rothy, once she started going into Amy's, I started having serious technical difficulties. And there are times
So
where
weird. It happened last
out.
time too.
And then I came back on, and you guys are still doing your thing, and I had to pause the show and came back on. I'll edit all that stuff out. But it was like on certain parts that you were saying, it was like looking at Amy, she was like making everything go haywire and not really noticing, like, just her, subconsciously,
I was
Energy.
manifesting.
So I just thought that was very interesting. But yeah, we can do a little bit of mine if you want, or we can, save it for another show, because again, you're not going anywhere. You're here.
I'm here, and it's whatever you guys want to do. I want to give it the attention that it deserves, and I know you all are also wanting to talk about Mr. Ramirez as well.
Yes.
So you guys decide. Am I doing Bobby's? Are we doing Richard or Robert? Which one?
Bobby, you pick.
Only my mom calls me Robert. That is so bad. But, no, I'll let you ladies pick. After you guys went through, this, I'll let one of you pick.
Well, do you have like any juicy stuff to talk about, Bobby?
Yeah.
After hearing yours, I can't say anything. I can't say anything. I'm down for whatever, so it doesn't.
Bobby, I have his whole chart right here. And he's got two charts too, because we've got the Bobby Washington, and then we've got the full on, full name with the middle name included. So a lot of the same numbers. Starting out with our life path, which is the Master 33. It's the rarest of all numbers in personal numerology, and the rarest of life paths. You obviously can't even have a birthday 33, because what month has a 33rd day? None of them. So literally in your charts, you can only have a 33 in certain places, the life path being one of them. So what is the 33? we talked about the 3 being the creative child, right? So that's that divinely gifted young youth, um, wise beyond its years, old soul in the baby's body, that was given these creative gifts and talents by the creator and for a very specific purpose. And they've used this wisdom, they've grown up being very nourished in life and being given that automatic, because again, the 3s have that gift ability. Their creativity transmutes negativity and trauma. So the rest of us who are like spaz cases that can't deal with, we don't know what to do and we freak out and cry and, that sort of a vibe. The 3 is just like, nope, I'm going to go write a song. I'm going to go paint something. And that's how they're going to express their trauma, right? They're going to express their feelings through their creativity and turn bad things into beauty. The 3 is just gifted in a way to be able to do that. So then you have the 33. So the 33 is that young child that is now grown up with this gift, and now they have become the master at it, and they teach others how to be this, right? So I think of a 33, and of course 33 is big in the occult and witchcraft and all of that, because they try to twist things around when, blah, blah, blah. But it's also 33 rungs to Jacob's ladder, 33 vertebrae, 33 to our pineal gland, which is the seat of the soul. Jesus was 33 when he died. All of these references to 33 being the master, right? And it's the master teacher. So I think of people like that. I think of, or even to like Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins. Is that her name too? Mel Robbins? Mel, the blonde lady who's like a guru. Anyways, like people who are affecting people and humanity in masses for the better. That's the 33, right? And utilizing their creativity and their skills that they hone, their dynamic, God-given, divine creative skills to transmute that bad energy and to teach others how to do the same. That's the 33. Mr. Miyagi energy, right?
Interesting.
So we probably like to wax on and wax off. I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. But I missed that movie. Those were good movies.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. Okay. Which is great for 33, because guess what our birthday number is? It's the lovely, wonderful 8s. It is the 8.
Oh.
8 is great. Yeah. So, but the wonderful thing in this is that you got the 33 protecting you on both sides, right? Because we already talked about this. And when it comes to the 5, and Mr. Washington, your expression as your full name, your government is a 1, right? Just like Carolyn's was. So the way that you present yourself in life, the way you do things is very much as a leader, as a father, as that provider, as that protector, as that weirdo, wonderful, one and only, one in a million, right? The very dominant male attributes and energies with that placement of the 1. However, when we go to the Bobby Washington charts, we go to the 5. So your 8 and your 5 are right next to each other in your chart, which is the same for me.
Interesting. Okay.
But you have that 33 protecting your 8 on both sides. You've got 2 3s. You've got 2 of those 8 protection numbers on both sides. You ain't wilding out. So what this tells me is that you make wise decisions, make wise risks. You're not going to make unwise risks. You take a lot of time to sometimes decide on something, or you want to make sure it's the right thing to do. There is a side of the Bobby Washington versus the government, Mr. Washington, that is a bit more fun and a life of the party, right? There's Mr. Washington, which is the one, and that is dad, that we're not playing with him. We're not gonna piss dad off because he's got that wall there and he's not afraid to get weird on us. So we're not gonna play with dad, right? But when dad is doing his music, when dad is in the studio, we know he's in his higher vibe. He's in that five state. He's in that joyous energy. So that's when we can go in. That's when we should go in and tell dad that maybe we got a C minus on our report card, or not that. So if the kids are coming in and giving us bad news when we're in the studio, Mr. Washington, be like, listen, put a sign outside. You are not allowed to bring my vibe down in this studio. Don't tell me about your grades in this studio. Don't tell me about that you scuffed the tire and now we need a new tire. Don't tell me about that in here. Wait till I get back outside to do dad business, right? Um, do you notice that? Do they try that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay. Because they sense it's a change in vibe. Like you're in your element in the studio. You're just happy. You're in your high vibe. So even if drama's going on or something's bringing you down, you don't really care because you're in your high vibe. So they sense that and they're like, yeah, dad's feeling good. Let's go ahead and drop the bad news on him right now because we'll get less of, the pushback on that. So, all right. Now go into your personality number, which again is your perception number, how you are perceived by the world. It's the same in both charts, and it is the 4. Okay? And it's the 4. What this tells me is you're just like, you've naturally been, I don't know what your career has been, but you've probably always been a manager of sorts. I'm a life path 4. I know it. We're the leader of the people. And so I hate it. I hate being a manager. I can't stand it. Like, I don't want to manage grown adult lives, but that's kind of my numbers. I'm a 4-1.
Yes.
So like it's just naturally that you a lot of times if you're probably have to be like, can I just be one of the workers? I'm not trying to be the boss in here, but there's just a natural tendency. People look to you to lead. So that's where that comes from.
I try to run, but they find me somehow. Somewhere. Oh, very interesting.
Yeah. So, all right. Going to your heart's desire. So, Mr. Washington, this is really, really cool. I like this transition. It's not the same like it was with Our Ladies, but it's a beautiful story nonetheless, right? So, your heart's desire, as Mr. Washington, your government name, is the 6, right? I'm a heart's desire 6 too. What is the 6? We didn't talk about it yet. Nobody's had a 6 yet, right? The 6 is the love of home and family and tradition and rituals. So you like holidays, you like that whole like festive, you love your traditions, you probably have your daily rituals, but the thing with you is obviously the most important thing in your life is family, and it's the thing that you wanted above all else before you had family. You've always wanted that, and it's always, you'll still have your government name even if you're being called Bobby Washington, it's just bringing more and different energy into your existing chart.
Yeah.
So you love the hell out of your family. You know that you are purposed in that. And it transitions. This is so cute. You ready? You ready, girls? Like, it's so freaking cute. I can't even stand it. Okay. So he goes from the 6. Now look at the shape of the 6, right? It's all whimsical, but it's almost like a big cushy chair that you can just fall back into, and it's gonna like embrace you and hug you and be comfy. You know what I mean? So people who meet Bobby, it's automatic family. You feel like automatic family. They just resonate with you like that. And you've probably been told that, a lot in your life, like, man, you just feel like, or you remind me of my uncle, or you remind me of my brother, or you remind me of my dad, or somebody like that. that's because they relate you to family. So now what's really cute about this is it changes from the 6 in the Mr. Washington chart to the Bobby Washington chart of 1. So you literally want to be the father figure and the weirdo and the leader. You want to stand out while still providing and protecting and leading, but doing it in a very unique way. You don't care to be like anybody else in this regard, as far as your heart's desire in life as Bobby Washington. You are okay to be different. You're okay with helping to blaze and lead while blazing a new path. And it's all for family at the end of the day. And that family is an extended family. We've all heard the saying, blood is thicker than water. That's not the whole thing. That's not
Yeah.
the whole saying at all. You know what I mean? And it's like the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. So this means that people who are not even related to you can become so close to you like that, and that you feel protective over, and you feel like you want to lead and you want to be that father figure to them. This also tells me, and then to be mixed with that 6 like that, do your kids' friends like call you dad?
Yeah, for the most part, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Wow.
That's sweet.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's and there's a big part of that you love because it's your heart's desire. You're like, damn right, I'm your dad. I think I'm a dad already, but like I'm your dad. While you're here in my house, I'm your dad. We're gonna play. I'm gonna teach you this. You're gonna do this. If you gotta, clean and do chores, you're a part of the family. Do chores too, and then we're gonna go play basketball, afterwards or whatever. You're gonna be that dad figure to them, and that's super, super important, Bobby. I want to that came to my mind for a reason. So that's a super important role that you're playing for some people. Okay,
Nice.
that's it.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, well, that was officially my first reading, actually.
Oh my gosh, it
Wow, yours was
was.
so positive and everything. Mine makes me sound like I'm crazy.
No, I'm so
No,
sorry.
I'm kidding.
You're undercover crazy.
No,
An undercover freak.
it's brilliant. It's brilliant, and it's a bright light. It's so bright you can't look at it sometimes. It's sunshine. But that's that
Aw.
dynamic spreading of energy everywhere. So it can look crazy. It can seem crazy. It can feel crazy. It's not crazy. It's just so dynamic.
You
It's
hear
so
that,
out there.
people? I am not crazy.
You're not.
But
You're not.
That sounds crazy right there. Just
That's what a crazy person would say.
no, I loved no, that was amazing about Bobby though. Yeah.
no,
His?
I'm gonna tell you 100%. You nailed everything. How I am, how I
Wow.
act, what I do, just everything. When I am in my zone, whether I'm in the studio, whether I'm doing music, whether it's something that I'm working on, and the kids, know exactly when to, approach me with certain things and all that stuff. I mean, just pretty much, like I said, you nailed everything. And we've talked, a couple of times. We'll be talking far more as we go forward.
For sure.
But I'm glad my kids are grown and doing their own thing now, and all of them are doing well. But yeah, it's just amazing when you hear something that is factual, and a lot of things, I just do. I don't, I'm the type of person, I don't say, how something is or isn't as far as what I'm taking care of or what I'm doing. But I know there are certain values and certain things that I do hold, dear to me, which is family, being, the provider, making sure things are taken care of, making sure, I'm the crazy guy who has the 800 credit score and the, just these crazy wild things, that I always make sure things are done and taken care of. And so I'm just saying you nailed everything. So you guys have to, get a reading done by Rothy, and it's amazing. So,
Those were all really good. I noticed that Bobby has a lot of really stable numbers. Like even his 8 is surrounded by those 2 3s. but at the same time, he's got like the quirky, unique,
Yeah. Hmm.
like that was very Bobby. And then Amy, what was your personality number again? I can't, was it a 4?
It was the one for her maiden, and it went to the 3, the creative child.
1 and 3. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I feel
So
like with Amy, how you present is very different from how you
yes.
are behind the scenes, you
Yes.
know?
Very
So,
well.
like how
I have
people
a
perceive
secret
you.
side.
Yeah. And that's the reason for that. And the reason for that, and tell me if I'm wrong, Amy, this has probably been more prevalent of an attribute or an ability for you since getting married, that you've almost kind of like been able to strengthen your, I don't want to call it a facade, but your serious face. Because it was a lot more of a,
Like
uh, I
you
don't
had to
care
hide
what
your
people,
crazy.
not hide the crazy, but not give as
I'm
much of
just kidding.
her dynamic energy out there. A lot of people took her energy, is what I feel like, and she's like, okay, I
Oh, so
love
like
getting
protecting.
energy, but now I'm gonna be a little bit more cautious as to who I allow to touch my energy and who I give my energy to, and that's where that 7 comes in, and why we're saying we see her and people see her as very different, because that 3 is that creative child, that prankster, fun, loving, happy, laughing, all of that.
And then the one
Meanwhile,
is like the opposite, right?
right, the one is the male dominant leader, but it's also that like weirdo. I'm gonna blaze my own path and my own trail. The
Mm-hmm.
3 is more of the peacemaker. Let's keep it together.
Mm.
So there's also a part of her that went from like maybe cutting off people like with a quickness like before, to I'm going to be more of a mediator now with this, or I'm going to be more of a peacemaker. But that's because I'm protected by that 7 now in her personality.
Mm.
She's put on a bit more of a hardness to her in her energy, whereas before she was more just happy energy everywhere. And people came in, because it's brightness, it's energy, everybody's attracted to it, right? So she's kind of put a protection around her, right? And that is that seriousness that we may see, but inside she's still that creative child, and she's still that 5, light and energy. And one of the things about this 3 that I forgot to mention that stood out to me is that it looks like a big, sexy, pregnant 3. Um, and it doesn't necessarily mean a physical pregnancy. It could be pregnant with a project, pregnant with a new side of ourselves that's coming out, pregnant with a new revelation in our life. Like, so there's something that has been worked on, for that you're working on, that people see in you that is coming about. There's a revelation and a change with that. With the 3, with your creativity. I don't know if you like music, if you want to do music, if you're into music, if you're feeling like I want to get creative, I want to paint, I want to do something creative. Like, I encourage you to do that. Like, it's calling you.
Amy,
Well,
do you have an album coming out anytime soon? What's that?
well, now that you mention it, no, no, I'm just
She's
playing.
doing a
No.
collab with Jelly Roll.
Watch out, world. Here I come. I'm on my way.
Are you artsy at all though? Are you into you know
I don't find myself very artistic. I mean, or that creative. I don't know. I mean, I used to draw when I was younger, but I haven't done that for many years. But
What about writing and stuff like that?
yeah, I mean, I don't do it anymore, but when I was younger, like I wanted to be a writer. So
Mm,
that was like a dream of mine. But and then I do think about like maybe writing a book one day. So maybe
it could
that's
be.
the pregnancy that you see.
Yeah.
No,
And it's
I really think that
Maybe.
the portion is the show and you know, brightening your horizons and
yeah.
open your, coming up from a moth to a butterfly when it comes to the paranormal and the things that you want to research and find out, the
Yeah,
questions
like
that you have.
Yeah.
following your interests.
No, this has definitely been a great outlet. So I could definitely see that playing into that comment. as far as, birthing something new. And yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Any vampires out there, Amy is down to be bitten. So
Yes, email me, please.
Email me.
that email starts with at 555 Gmail.
I think there was another one that was maybe a little inappropriate to say, right, Bobby?
Oh,
Yeah. But
that's funny.
anyhow, I do love vampires, so.
Yes, exactly.
Interesting.
Well, thank you, Rothy, very, very much. This has been a long and very informative show in readings, and I think the audience will definitely enjoy it. And just everything you were saying was heartfelt, and I believe that just for me, everything was spot on. It wasn't even, is she getting this right or getting that right? It was just you were telling me about myself, and I know myself, and so be it good, be it bad, it was just the information that you were saying just rang true across the board, for me, and even as you're talking to Amy and Carolyn, all of that as far as a person who knows them. Again, not talking about knows them in so much detail, but just in small nuances. I am a people person and watcher because that's how I experience and learn. And I'm always, for everything that you said, I utilize that to watch for those pitfalls and different things. And you were saying a lot of things to me that rang true, even for them. And, so I just thought, you did an amazing job. And I love the detailed information. Yeah, it's a long show for sure. People can cut it up. They can listen to it when they want to, go back and forth. But I guarantee you, if you really listen, you will not, be disappointed. And if you get a reading from Rothy, you will not be disappointed. And you will learn a little bit about yourself. And, sometimes, it's the things that we don't ask, because, whoever says when they want to get a reading, oh, how does this play for my spouse or my, maid or my husband or wife or, either or, you just, you want to hear about yourself and get that detailed information, but not knowing that you're with this person, it could have changed you, it could have did something, certain things could have happened that actually make you change as a person, and how you move. So, it is a good
That's
idea,
so true.
the couples or your spouse or someone that could be a good, relationship or a bad relationship. And it can just be somebody you just met and, and you find out, don't waste your time with that particular person. So who knows? But again, great work. Um, Moving forward, you're going to hear more from Rothy on Strange Darkness Radio. She has her own show. Rothy, give your socials, please.
It's at Rothy Reads Numbers on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. And then it's either Rothy Reads Numbers or Rothy's World on all of the social medias. Most of it is Rothy Reads Numbers, but if it's not there, then try Rothy's World and it'll be there. So
Great. That's going to be amazing. I actually changed some of her stuff, and again, not for her socials, but just for the our show. And moving forward with us is going to be numbers by Rothy because to me,
yeah.
that's what she's going to break down. And for her show, that will be a monthly show on Strange Darkness Radio, and I think
Yay.
it's going to be an amazing asset. And don't be afraid to, call in and ask questions because all of our stuff is out there. Now you have even more, things that you can gravitate towards, whether you're calling in about UFO experiences, paranormal experience, shadow experiences, possession, whatever's happening in your life and no one believes you or you want to, come on and tell your story, you're definitely free to and to do that. And now having Rothy on, that's an added benefit to where you can get some answers on why you're haunted. Not saying that she's gonna, pick it apart and, be able to break it down for you, but she might be able to steer you in the right direction with what's going on, with your numbers. So again, all of our socials will be on our information at the whether it's in the show description or at the end of the show. So yeah, you can give us a call at 916-741-3032. You can hit us up on strangedarknessradio@gmail.com. And don't hesitate. When you leave a voicemail, if 3 minutes is not long enough, you can keep, you can say part 1, part 2, part 3, and I'll string it all together and make it coherent. And again, Rothy, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for adding and being on the show moving forward. And ladies, anything else, Carolyn or Amy?
Yeah, so I agree with what Bobby said. We definitely want to hear from our listeners. We want you to call in with any stories, any personal experiences or questions, or maybe even, show topics. And now that Rothy's joining us, you can either, hit her up on Instagram or email us or, however you want to contact us. And maybe you can even have a personal reading done if you give Rothy your information. So if you're interested in that, we're leaving you on a cliffhanger once again because we all want to hear this Richard Ramirez story and we're waiting. So we definitely are going to have Rothy get into that next time on her show with us. So exciting
For
stuff to look
sure.
forward to.
Yeah, and I've got tons of ghost experiences too, and we talked about Big Daddy and his whole like spiritual thing, and like we've got so much to get into, team. I'm so honored and happy
Yes.
to be here with you guys, and thank you so much for having me. And so yeah, let's do great things together. Let's get people excited about numbers, and yeah, I'm stoked. So thank you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Amy, any last words?
Rothy, thank you so much. Like all the time and energy and effort you put into that. Like I love your energy. I think you're amazing. And I definitely encourage people to contact you and get a reading. And she's very, very insightful. And I really enjoy having you here.
Thank
So,
you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming back and for being part of the show going forward.
I do have one cliffhanger that I'm going to leave people with. And you guys wait for this answer. And Rothy, don't answer it, but I'm just going to ask it. What was happening with the stripper pole video? So just don't say anything, but
You tell us next time.
Love
regardless
it.
of what, just tell us next time. And yes.